Hi, is this working? Let me check at my phone. Hi, is this working? All right, so we're live. So today we're going to talk about the seven biggest mistakes that contentpreneurs make. And when I say about um, mistakes, I've been there. All right, because I've seen a lot of content creators who wants to create content based on their social media website. They want to promote something. I've seen these mistakes all the time, and that mistake actually is a hindrance or a boundary for them to grow online. I've seen that many content creators nowadays, they don't strategize, they don't have a plan, they just waste their time, and they don't do anything about content creation. I mean, they just create content and don't know what to do. Maybe they know something, maybe they heard or learned something from another guru or here and there, but it isn't effective for them. They've learned about countless strategies and ideas, but they don't know how to execute those. Because in today's generation, you have to be strategic. So, here are the seven biggest mistakes, right? Here it is. Wait, me go right here. All right. Here are the seven biggest mistakes that contentpreneurs make. So the first of all, what is content? What is a contentpreneur? Being a contentpreneur is being a person who executes plans and strategies, create content, and sell it online, and even build a brand. Almost every business do. So, based on the internet, a contentpreneur is a person who creates and sells content as a business or a career. Content can refer to various forms of media, such as videos, blogs, podcasts, ebooks, courses, or more. Okay? So, the contentpreneur creates a valuable and engaging content that attracts an audience and it generates revenue. All right? They generate revenue through countless monetization strategies like Google Ads, affiliate marketing, merchandising, etc. So they create valuable and engaging content that attracts your audience or your target market and generates revenue. There is it, sponsorship, subscription, and maybe you can add your business to it. But remember, being a contentpreneur, you have to prioritize influence before income. Many of the mistakes here is many of the mistakes that contentpreneur makes is they target for revenue, but they don't have any specific traffics. They don't have a target market. They don't have a build audience. They don't have a community, and then they just sell things randomly on the internet. So, would you think that people would buy to you if they haven't built any relationship or influence from you or even value just a teeny bit? So you have to consistently create content that creates value to your audience, and then they will build trust and relationship reliability to you. Okay, so in summary, a contentpreneur is an entrepreneur who uses content as their primary business asset. Okay, so why do we need to be a contentpreneur in the next decade, in the next 10, 20, 30 years? Because according to the statistics in the e-commerce industry alone, 90%, okay, 90% of the physical products that you see today, for example, you see this notebook, you see this uh, you see this bag, it's going to be online. Believe it or not, it's going to be online by the year 2045. So in today's technology, it's transforming to be a digital industry. Everything that you see will be converted into a digital industry just by year 2045. So that's why today is the perfect day to start your contentpreneur journey. right? The benefits of this is what I mentioned, technology. Why technology? Because there's a lot. There's cell phones. People are using more cell phones nowadays. Laptops, they use transportation, they use modern vehicles, and they like something that is new and novel. So you have to go to that trend and get that traffic. Okay, most of the traffic will be on the internet nowadays. The accessibility. So because of technology and the internet, we can almost access everywhere with just one click. We can just purchase a product or any type of services or groceries from your phone. Now, traffics your users. Most of the customers that you see today will be online. So it's important for us contentpreneurs to determine the advantage of being a contentpreneur in the next decade because we have to go out and search with the trends. Okay, the income is next. Income would be lucrative in the internet because based on my experience, you can do here affiliate marketing, you can do e-commerce, you could do ebook, you could create content like this, you could create video courses, you could create webinars, you could create the digital products that don't need a physical location. You can almost everything. You could sell books, you could sell anything that you think, online. All right. So the income would be like lucrative, like cryptocurrencies or trading or stocks. It would be online. So being a contentpreneur is taking the advantage of its income from the internet. Speaking of internet, it's part of our strategy here is to hook hook more viewers, hook more traffics, and convert them into potential long-term customers. That's why important it is important to have the internet. Right? So, presenting. The image didn't load well. These are the 7 biggest mistakes that contentpreneurs make. All right? So, let's continue. All right. The number one thing that they didn't even consider is not considering quality or quantity. Most of us think it will work for quantity. They will work their content when they focus on quantity. It will work, but certainly it's ironic. Quality will work for them. So how do we identify? How do we identify if we need quality or quantity, or where do we need to focus? In other words, so the number one thing that we need to consider is: are you a beginner, are you an intermediate, or are you already an expert in your industry, like for example, content creation? In that thing, for example, you're making YouTube videos and you're just starting out. Do you think quality or quantity is important? If you answer quality, maybe it will not work because in starting content creation, you have to start messy before you're ready. Again, you have to start messy before you're ready because in content creation, there are things that you need to consider. Are you an Do you already know how to edit? Do you already know SEO? Do you already know the things how to build an audience or community? Do you already have the resources that is sufficient to make a quality content? Do you already have a good camera phone? Do you already have a good mic? If most of your answers is no, then you have to start with quantity because quantity is about building experience, starting messy before you're ready. That is the life of starting content creation based on my 5 year experience because many people don't really know how to start content. They just focus on quality, they focus on production, and don't know anything about how to build a certain channel. They just believe it's if it's great quality, they will build an audience. They will just instantly subscribe without building any relationship, right? So we need to build influence, relationship, connection to our audience. Okay. Now, looking back to our discussion for today, when should I do quality? Well, for my experience, you should do quality if you're already proficient enough to do what I've just said. The qualifications, do you already have an experience? Do you already know how to build an audience? You know how algorithm works? Do you know how to create good content? You already know how to story brand. So before you get to the quality stage, you need to like make 100 crappy videos every single week, knowing you're doing your best. You're improving 0.01%, knowing that you didn't upload almost every day without any reason, without any planning, without any strategy, without doing anything or something actions that you need to take. When you just think that if I upload 100 videos in this 1 month, I will be viral, I will be famous. Well, no, that is not how YouTube is. YouTube is, you probably heard it, YouTube is not a sprint, it's a marathon. So you need to strategize. You don't have to create countless content that will magically think that it will blow up, it will explode because you're consistent. That is not how YouTube works. It's more complex, it's more complicated, but if you make it simple, it will be faster, better, and stronger. All right? So you have to be passionate also when it comes to content creation because having content creation as a content takes a lot of time, patience, and dedication. All right, number two is creating selfish content. And I'm very guilty about this because ever since I started creating selfish content, many contentpreneurs make these mistakes. They think that if they do videos that is comfortable to them and doesn't resonate with their audience, as long as they like it, sorry about the background, as long as they like it as a content creator, they expect that viewers nowadays will consume their content. All right. So as a contentpreneur, you have to consume content that is relevant to your audience, that is searchable, that is something that resonates with them. Some things that is let me that is interesting to them. Whether you're in educational content, whether you're in entertainment, you have to start by creating unselfish content. There are a lot of criteria in creating unselfish content, but you have to be unselfish and to even consider your target market or target audience or viewers for the sake of them. Remember, it's not all about you, it's about them. Create a viewer experience that would resonate with your content, that will stick to your content, and potentially even subscribe to you, right? Number three is not making smart goals. Many contentpreneurs are not making smart goals, maybe because it's not specific, it's not measurable, it's not achievable or attainable, it's not relevant, it's not even realistic, and they don't have time bound. They don't have deadlines in their goal. So being smart is about considering these factors, being specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and realistic, and time bound. Because whenever I started making smart goals, I can determine and track what are my performance. Am I improving or not? Metrics is so powerful. Analytics is so powerful, which we will discuss further. Okay? So, in conclusion, make your goals specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. All right. So, if there are any viewers right here, I know it's zero. I can see. Please like it. If you gain any values, because I also create content that is involving contentpreneurs, passive income, building an e-commerce website. If you gain any value from this, you can just hit like and we'll proceed now. Okay, speaking of value, the number four is not delivering value. Many content creators are not delivering value to their audience, but you may be asking, how do I deliver value to my audience? Well, it's pretty simple. Delivering value only means that you have to create content that is genuinely helpful, that you yourself would watch if you are in the same problem as your audience. And speaking of problem, this is so simple. In order to give value to your audience, to your customers, to your leads, to your prospects, you have to solve their problem. And many content marketeers, inbound marketeers, do content creation like blogs, educational content like offering ebooks, online free courses. Um, Basically, they're just free information. And once a potential target market went to that and they consume their content, they would be now finding some potential businesses that would help them. And sometimes many companies include some link if you need or CTAs, like if you need someone to help you with this and that to solve your problem, don't hesitate us to reach out. And that's it. That's the strategy. Providing free valuable content, and now they become potentially a returning customer. Right. Number five is consuming too much time. Many content creators and contentpreneurs perhaps are consuming time more than ever. They I think they consume like 17 hours to edit a video. You have to just make it simple and valuable, like I'm doing. There there not much so much engagement happening right now, but it's important for us to improve and do our first step. Remember, you have to start messy before you're ready. Okay, so most of the time I've come up to a reflection. Let me give you a story. When I began editing videos, usually it takes me 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 to 17 hours to edit the video. But I've discovered the concept of simplicity and value. All you have to do is to deliver that content with value. You have to be solution oriented. You have to actually genuinely know how you will solve the problem of your target market or target audience. Then just go on. Just being simple. Just being plain. Just not being focused on production, the lighting, the quality. You have to just focus on providing value to your audience. And many of us consume a lot of time in editing, a lot of time in post production, and we forgot to even prioritize our audience, to comment them, to engage with them, to share our posts, to boost our posts. The simple word here is done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. Because I believe in the saying, perfection is the enemy of completion. And it's much more better to be done than to be perfect. If you're done about anything and you have some little extra time, that is the time you need to you may want to furnish your content. You may want to have the finishing touch. May want to add some sound effects, some background music, etc. So don't consume too much time. You know it's possible to do content creation 5 hours per week, right? I've heard this 90 minutes for research, 90 minutes for recording, 30 minutes for editing, 30 minutes for, I guess, promoting content, etc. etc. So that's it. Don't consume too much time. Number six is doesn't have a business mindset. Contentpreneur doesn't have a business mindset when it comes to content creation because they believe that being a contentpreneur is just being happy with your hobbies. But if you view your job as a hobby, you wouldn't take it serious. You would do it occasionally, not consistently. In success, we talk about success, it's all about showing up every time. All right? Most of us think that content creation is just writing blogs, editing videos, and hopefully we'll get some viewers. But it's not. It's all about having a business mind. It's all about strategy. It's all about marketing. It's all about building team because one day you'll need to outsource an editor. You'll need to outsource a designer, etc. You have to be business mindset if you want to grow your business. That makes sense, right? If you consider your job as a business, being a contentpreneur, you would take this more serious. You would have some goals. you'll develop or consume much content like this. So one of my worst mistakes as a content is not having a business mindset, because if I don't have a business mindset, then I think I just say, oh, I just upload one times per week and hopefully you get views. But I believe in that strategy, and hopefully I get the same results as people who just use it as a hobby or as a business, etc. That's the one mistake. They're not being realistic. They're not building smart goals, right? So you have to be business minded when it comes to content creation. All right. Now, speaking of this, I've actually mentioned this. The biggest mistake of contentpreneur is not analyzing the metrics, not analyzing the numbers in the analytics. Every time they create content, they just view their analytics and just they're gone. They don't know how to interpret certain percentage. Most of us in social media like Instagram, Facebook, many of the CEOs and marketers behind this, they do a monthly analysis. They do this every month. They analyze content and they strategize behind it. For example, I got a 15% click through rate, which is a good indication, which I have a ATR or AVR, average view duration, below 50%. This is a bad indicator. Maybe I didn't edit too much. Maybe I didn't put some text. Maybe I didn't put some music, etc., etc. It's all about interpreting the numbers behind those analytics, metrics, and numbers. Many contentpreneurs just take it for granted. So it's important for us to be metric oriented and to measure our success. If we don't know how to measure anything, any progress that we make, we wouldn't move a needle. So it's important to measure the numbers, measure the analytics, and measure the metrics. Okay, the Q&A. Um, this is a little bit embarrassing, but we have zero viewers actually. So this is one of the contemporary, one of the biggest problem of contemporaries. If they have them really specific low views, low view counts, they just like, this is never going to happen. This entrepreneurial journey will never blow up or will not work. So I can say that you need to not focus on numbers. Okay, you have to focus on value, being genuine, being helpful, serving other people, building your influence, and having patience and persistence. Having patience and persistence. Because if you don't have patience and persistence, you wouldn't continue this journey. So I think if this live stream don't have any views, it doesn't matter. What matters is I enjoy what I'm doing. I help one person at a time, and I've impacted them. I've helped them in some other ways. That is all I want, because I have a purpose. I have a bigger reason, and that view counts doesn't stop me. All right. So we don't have any Q&A right now because we don't have any viewers. So it's okay, and I also expect that. The bonus part here is simple. As I've said a while ago, done is better than perfect. Done is better than perfect. When you're filming, it's better to be done within 90 minutes. When you're batching content, it's better to be done. It's better to be messy, because you will improve tomorrow. You can do it better because there's always tomorrow. You to have a growth mindset. Your entrepreneurial or contentpreneurial journey will be like this, right? It's like a staircase. Pain, growth, pain, growth, pain, growth, pain, growth, pain, growth. All right. Whoops. So that's it. It's all about learning from your pains, learning from your mistakes, learning from your um, failures. That is why it's better to be done than to be perfect. Because if you make it today, if you target for perfection, you're never going to accomplish anything. That is one of my biggest mistakes. That is why this is a bonus part. I want to say that every entrepreneur right now need to have an entrepreneurial mindset. Having a mindset to have a sense of working smart rather than working hard. I always believe in working smart. If there is such thing as working hard, there will be times it is needed. But most of us in today's technology, it's all about working smart. So I want you to work smart. But if you're starting out, work hard, right? If you know the strategies, you know the tactics, you know how to work 4 hours per week, then you'll need to work smart. And one of the example is you're outsourcing editors because editing is time consuming. If you have that 17 hours to do something that's much more valuable that will generate you an income, you would invest it. You would should have invested from instead of staring at the computer editing. It's much more efficient to outsource. This is one of the best advice that I've ever received. So, as a contentpreneur, you have to focus on being done instead of being perfect. So, all I have to do is I'll ask you to subscribe if you gain any value from this, and you don't need to buy any courses, you don't need to buy any ebooks or any gurus out there. This is totally for free. If you subscribe, there's a I also create content for e-commerce. I create it for marketing and building a digital business that would be helpful for you. I also create a monthly live show about this, like I'm doing right now. To gain any value from this, I'm sharing everything that I've learned throughout the journey, and I hope you can apply the same. It's all about being providing you practical tips and strategies that you can apply into your content entrepreneurial journey, in your e-commerce journey as an entrepreneur. So, thank you for watching, and I hope you learn or gain any value from this, even a teeny bit. Right? So, peace out.